Today we are in Utah and we are 8 miles outside of Zion National Park. And this is the National Forest, so dispersed camping in the National Forest. I would believe that this is a popular location in the spring or the summer, but this is late February. And as you can see, there's still a little bit of snow on the ground. We are at 6,000 feet, a little over. So we're keeping an eye on the weather and it looks good. Normally, I would say that this location would be full of other campers. There's at least a dozen other spots to camp here. And this, of course, is pack it in, pack it out. Very quiet, being a half mile off the main route. The road getting in was not too bad. It was broken pavement. We did have to go slow, but even with this little bit of snow on the ground, no issues at all. So we are excited to go into Zion National Park. It has been, well, we've been past it at least 3 or 4 times, and it's always been during the busy season. This is late February, this is the off season, so I think this might be our best shot. Meanwhile, we are going to enjoy a quiet night with no one around and no sounds coming from the highway. I'm excited to see this park. I feel like it's way overdue and I can't wait.
Today we're going into Zion, and we had this discussion last night if we should get up early and try to make sunrise on the Overlook trail. We thought, maybe not worth it.
Yeah, and then we both wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning.
3:30, we're both awake.
So, well, we want to go early anyway so we can beat the crowds. That's why we've been putting off Zion for so long, is because we didn't want to hit the crowds. So we're going in on a Thursday. We're going early.
Yeah, it's like 4:30 right now.
I think this is one of those parks where you want to spend like 3 days, but we have 1 day. And I don't really want to rush it. I just kind of want to take our time, see what we see. We can always come back to the park and like maybe visit 2 or 3 trails each time we come. Yeah,
and another reason why we don't want to spend multiple days is it's not going to be a super fun day for Rudel because he's not allowed on most of the trails. So we're going to try to hit as much as we can in 1 day. But since we were awake at 3:30, I think it was decided that we're going to do the sunrise. It's 6:30, just starting to get light. And I'm going to go do the Canyon Overlook Trail for sunrise. Now, Dave was supposed to come with me, but he wimped out and he's sleeping in with Rudel. And I told him I'm going to tell everybody that he wimped out. All right, here we go. One mile round trip. Difficulty moderate. Okay, here we go. We're climbing up. Oh, drop off. This looks cool. I can't wait to see it in the daylight on the way back. I'm gonna be very careful and watch my footing and not film in the dark. So I'll catch you at the lookout. I made it. Look at the view. I'm the first one here. How incredible is this? I've been up here for 2 hours. I was freezing to death until the sun came up from behind the mountain. Now it's the most delightful. Probably a good idea that Dave didn't come. A lot of people came for sunrise, stood right along the edge, walked back and forth. One false move, it would have been a very bad day. Several times I had to look away or hide my eyes because I was getting butterflies in my tummy because they were so close to the edge. And you know me, I get close to the edge. So for me to be nervous for them, incredibly beautiful. Pretty fabulous morning. It's like I'm seeing the trail for the first time because when I came up it was dark. It's a beautiful trail. This is a cool section of a rock wall, but look how narrow the trail is. And then it goes straight down. But look at this wall. Into a big cave. Look how cool that is. This is a pretty incredible trail, I must say. Okay, look at that view. Wow. I can't get over the beauty that this earth has to offer. I'm so thankful that these places are preserved and set aside. And all the work that went into these trails so that we could walk out to a point to look at a magnificent view. There's the tunnel we're going to be going through. The famous Zion Tunnel. Alright, that does it for the Overlook Trail. Incredible way to start the morning. Thank you for coming along and keeping me company. Let's go see what else we can find in beautiful Zion National Park.
Never understood how they know how to do that. Make an L. Look at that. Oh my gosh. That is amazing. Currently there's construction being done on the walk bridge across the creek. So they said to walk up the road 0.6 miles to get to the next bridge. And we noticed they're already slowing cars down up here. So I don't think you'll be able to drive this at all in about 1 week from now when they make it buses only. And I guess I can see why they do that. They're already having problems, you know, in the early season here with too many visitors. So it won't be long, this will be bus only. We just beat it. So this is the detour, it's the Grotto Trail that leads to the bridge that we need to cross to get on the Emerald Trail. And just, I would love to see this in a rainstorm with waterfalls coming off the top of this thing. This is amazing. Yeah. Red sandstone and I guess white sandstone, I don't know. Doesn't matter which direction you look, this is amazing. Even better than I thought it was gonna be. Our first animal sighting, there's a deer just hanging out right next to the trail here. Right behind these two trees. You'll see him in just a second. Or see her. Not afraid of us at all. Probably about 30 feet away. We are taking the Emerald Pools Trail this time. Maybe someday Carrie, I'm gonna say Carrie will take the Angel's Landing. But I don't do well with heights, so. And we don't have time right now, but we didn't get a permit either. So Emerald Pools we go. Oh, it is, yeah. How cool is that? That's the point for Angel's Landing, right there in the middle of the screen. I'm really shocked that there's this much water in the river right now, considering how dry it's been, other than one little snowstorm. Up we go. Even that's too close to the edge for me. I don't like it.
You wouldn't have liked the trail we did this morning. But I did.
Ooh, it's gonna get hot quick in the sun.
Sun feels good.
Feels good right now. And that's the Virgin River down there. And it looks like something you'd see in a painting. That's pretty incredible. So I think we're done with pretty much the elevation. Just following along this rim now. What you can't see from a lot of this filming is that the cliff goes straight up rock wall. And that's what we're following along. River on one side, rock wall on the other, beautiful trail in between. A couple of the peaks still have just a little dusting of snow on them from that snowstorm about a week ago. I don't know if you can tell or not, like that one right in the middle of the screen. Just a little bit of white still up there. I don't think it's gonna last long. Yeah, I'm liking this. Good mix of sun and shade. Here's the view of the mountains right across the river from us. And if you keep going up the canyon to the left, that's Angel's Landing. Kind of hard to see from here. All right, so the lower Emerald Pools are down this way, and it's all closed up. Looks like there was a landslide, and they've got it chained off. But otherwise, you get a walk right underneath the falls.
I was looking forward to that.
I was too. I can see the trail down there. It looks like you go right underneath them, and there's one of the waterfalls coming off the top in between these trees. And then there's another one or two more. Oh, what a bummer.
It says closed due to icy conditions.
Oh.
I don't think it's icy anymore.
I don't think so either. Oh, what a bummer. All right, since the trail is closed, it does reopen here, but there's just no way to get to it without breaking the rules. We're gonna head back the way we came and head back to the van, but even though we didn't get a walk down there, the view right here is incredible. So one thing pretty cool about this national park is you can go to the visitor center, and then there is a walkway or a trail that you can do that's just for pets or pet acceptable. So at least Rudel has some place to go and hang out and stretch his legs in between hikes. Otherwise he would be cooped up in the van all day, and that would be a bad day for Rudel. This goes right along the river, and I have noticed that there is construction just about in every direction. You might hear it in the background. And looks like the main part of the season is just around the corner, and they're trying to get everything ready to go. Oh, but check this out. We're right alongside the river. Crystal clear. Good water flow to it. And Rudel's gonna have to go down, see if he can get a drink of water. Come on, let's go down. Let's go check it out. Of course, I'm wondering if there's fish in here, like always. Yeah, let's go check the water, Rudel. Oh, yeah. Rudel's kind of a water snob, so if he likes the water, then it's pretty good. Even though he'll drink facing downstream, making it all muddy for himself, so I'm not sure if we really should take his opinion seriously or not. Was that good? Yeah, good boy. Yeah, let's get some more. Good boy. All right, let's go back to the trail. Up here. So even Rudel gets to take part in the epic views as we follow alongside of the mountains here. He's excited about it too. All right, I'm gonna put the camera away for a little bit here. Let Rudel enjoy his time, sniffing every bit he can sniff, and head back to the van. Carrie and Rudel are going to sit this one out, but we are on the east end of Zion National Park on the way out, and this is one of the trails I wanted to do, and it's called Mini Pools. So let's go check it out and see what we can find. I noticed the further you get away from the Narrows in Zion National Park, then the less people there are, and this is my kind of off the beaten path as far as I can get anyway in the national park. All right. So this trail is not marked super good because you're basically in a wash. And I'm just hoping I'm going the right direction. I do see footprints, but I saw footprints going in 3 or 4 different directions. So I had to get out of the wash for a little bit because there's some trees in the way, but now I got to slide down on my butt in the snow. Yeah, I would have never made this walking down it. Oh, looks like I'm going into a slot canyon. That's what I just slid down. Steeper than it looks. Check this out. All right, I didn't see any pictures of this. Oh, I don't know. I may have went the wrong way, but I found something cool. I love slot canyons. I was hoping to find one that I could do here in Zion, because a lot of them you need rock climbing experience and ropes and all the gear. Oh, neat. It's cold in here too. I could have used my jacket. Oh, look at this, look at this. There's a shelf right there. And then it just goes up. Look at those colors. Wow. It's almost glowing orange. And this is what I just came through. Yeah, I love this. This is at least 50 feet down from the top. And it's nice and wide. And we're gonna open up here. All right, so if you want a little bit experience with slot canyons, but you don't want to be in a crowded area and you don't want to get lost, I definitely recommend this one. It parallels the road. You can go up as far as you want. It's not too narrow. They're short. I've already hit 3 of them. Haven't seen a single person. Definitely recommend many pools trailhead. And then once you hit the wash, just to go upstream. Go as far as you want. As far as you feel comfortable. All right, coming back out of the wash, have the van in view. So excellent day today, had a great time. We'll be heading outside the park, back to our boondocking spot for the night. My favorite thing about this location is probably just how quiet it is. It feels like you're remote in the middle of nowhere. And we're only 8 miles away from the entrance of Zion National Park.
Yeah, the east entrance of Zion. My favorite thing is the mixture of juniper, pine trees, and manzanita.
I was gonna say that too.
And the stars at night are phenomenal.
Yeah.
There's only a little tiny bit of light pollution from Las Vegas, but there are many stars out at night.
Huh?
Now, we have been here in late February and it has been cold. It's been below freezing every night.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's not usual for this location.
Okay, what you need to know if you want to come and boondock in this location.
Okay, so this is pretty primitive. It's pack it in, pack it out kind of a place with no amenities. But do be aware the road coming in is broken asphalt with potholes and ruts, and it was slow going. But it's only 3/4 of a mile, and then you end up in this gravel pit. This gravel pit is pretty large. I estimate at least 10 places that you can camp if you are maybe 45 feet total length and less.
There are some prime spots where you get spectacular views if you get here and nobody's in that spot.
Yeah.
Having said that, you will not be alone here. Again, this is the east entrance to Zion, and in the summertime, spring, fall, there will be lots of people here visiting you.
Yep. For getting supplies, if you're coming in on the east side like we did, we got our stuff from Kanab, Utah. And there's a gas station on the way here that's only, I think it's only 6 miles from where we're camped right now. So it's easy to fuel up. And if you're coming in from the south side, then you can get your supplies in Hurricane or Springdale.
Springdale.
Yeah.
And speaking of that gas station, there is a cafe there called the Thunderbird Cafe, which is pretty famous for its pies.
Yep.
So you might want to stop and check that out. Okay, so let's talk about Zion. This is actually our first time that we've been to Zion. I have a couple of notes for you, just to give you an idea. So Yosemite is 1,169 square miles. That's the size of the national park. Zion is 229 square miles.
Yeah, so it's quite small, and there's pretty much only one road going through it. So you definitely want to stay away from the weekends if you can, or maybe just reserve a camp spot inside the park.
Yeah, so this is a tricky one for us because Zion is amazing. It's incredible. We highly suggest that you come through on the east entrance and come through the tunnel, and then you just come out into this magnificent canyon.
Yeah.
But Zion is so busy that if you're like us and you don't like crowds, you're gonna really have to time your visit to enjoy your stay. So usually between March and November is when the shuttles run, and a lot of the driving in the scenic canyons are not allowed.
Yeah.
So,
well, you can still see them, but you're going to see them from the shuttle.
You're going to see them from the shuttle.
Yeah.
What's really cool about this park is if you could get a camp spot in, say, the Watchman campground or the one they're rebuilding right now, and you have bikes, you can bike all the way to the Narrows.
Yeah, which is pretty cool. And it's not all that far, but you'll be like the only one on the road other than
the
shuttle buses. So
yeah.
I think that works out really well.
So, I mean, for me, the shuttle buses would kind of take away from the beauty of the park and the amount of people that come.
But if it's the only time you get to see the park, go for it, take the shuttle.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If it's the only chance you get to come in and see the park, definitely take it. Now, if you're like us and you want to come in January and February, the temperature has been great. We did try to hike the Narrows twice. And each day, on a Thursday and a Sunday, the road was closed at noon. It was already congested.
Yeah.
So we didn't get to do that.
Okay, so there's a few things to know if you're coming in from the east side about the tunnel. So if you're wider, then you're going to have to help me out with the measurements.
I don't remember all that. I will put the sign up here. There are lots of specifications if you could come through the tunnel or not. There are time limits. I'll put the sign up somewhere right here so you can see all that.
I'm going to take a guess. I'm going to say it's 13 feet, 1 inch high, and 7 feet, 11 inches, or 10 inches wide.
Yeah, but there's also a length limit. Yeah. And if you are an oversized vehicle, you do have to pay a $15 fee because they do shut the traffic down and escort or let you go through first without any traffic.
Yeah, yep.
What are we missing?
I don't know. I would say that this is a dog-friendly area. Rudel had a great time. There's nothing for him to step on and hurt himself. I really loved it here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is one trail in Zion National Park that is dog-friendly. That's the Payrus Trail. He loved it, but most of the time, you are not going to be able to take your dog on any of the trails other than that one. Yeah. There is doggy daycare in Springdale. It has really high reviews. Springdale is a tourist city, so be prepared for tourist prices. I went into the little supermarket and a can of soup was almost $9.
Yeah, and it's right outside the park. I mean, it's touching the park. That's how close it is.
But it's really cool. If you don't have bikes, you can rent bikes right there and ride into the park. Yeah. You can rent your gear if you want to hike the Narrows. Okay, so the current prices are $55 per person. That comes with the dry suit, some kind of sock liner, and shoes. And you get them for 24 hours. And they're definitely highly recommended with the water temperature the way it is. You want to be comfortable, especially if you're going to spend a couple hours in the water. And you do need a permit to hike Angel's Landing if you want to do that.
Yep. There's a couple other permits that you need too. If you're going to do the Narrows from the top down, then you have to get a permit.
Yeah.
So if you're going to do it from the bottom up like we wanted to do, you can do that. But it also depends on how deep the water is too. The water can be too deep and they won't let anybody go.
Yeah. Spring runoff, I think.
Yep.
So as you can see, there are a lot of logistics to work out if you want to come to this park. We definitely think it is worth going through all the trouble to come see it. It was just incredible.
And we're coming back. We're coming back to see the Narrows. That's going to happen at some point.
At some point, we're going to come back and do the Narrows. Yep.
All right. We appreciate you watching our video, and we hope to see you next week. If you would like to support our channel, please consider becoming a patron. Thank you for watching.
An awesome spot. It's a little too wet in the daytime that if we drove up here we would create ruts, and we don't want to do that.